why we feel the need to bust out the ALK today. Not exactly an easy conversation.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll let Rin explain.
Okay. Well, so I wrote about this the other day, chat, about how I feel like I think it's time for me to kind of move on with my career in the space, but that does face a lot of difficulties coming up right now, especially financially. For the last 10 years, I've been streaming, or not streaming, content creation, but for like 8 years of that, I have been streaming. And then obviously during the time when there was the pandemic and Hoyoverse and Genshin all came out, my channel made some pretty massive leaps. I started to see like real revenue for once, and I started to, think like, oh, maybe I could probably finally make it and make this into like some kind of living, and just kind of plan my future around that. I did end up buying a house because it did get that lucrative up to a point. But these days, not so much. Things have quieted down significantly. People grow up and move on, right? It is my job as a content creator to attract people to the audience, but I haven't really changed my way of posting so far as like, I don't really like clickbaiting. I don't like drama videos. I don't like causing shit with people. And I tend to just kind of either lock in onto one thing or just post about something that people don't even care about, which is what I like to do. But unfortunately, a lot of how YouTube and everything works, you have to be kind of on the ball with, especially as a gamer, you want to be relevant. You want to keep on top of current things that are going on. And so I burned out a lot. So from the first burnout I had a panic attack on stream, unfortunately. And then so I took like probably almost a year off until my community told me, hey, you should try out Infinity Nikki. It might be something that you enjoy because, fashion and things like that. So I did give it a try and I ended up liking it, right? But it quickly became something where it showed signs of being good. So I tried to monetize it right away because I needed to find a way out of this hole that I found myself in. And the moment you monetize anything that becomes some kind of hobby, it definitely turns into this thing that you hate to do gradually over time. And I think for like 200 days in a row, I would post something related to Infinity Nikki, and it did well, but God, it took so much energy out of me. I was up late to like 4 a.m. sometimes, losing sleep. I couldn't really get back into shape. I was just stressed out. It costs money to hire an editor. And then I had to do it. And just keeping up with the demands of everyone. Then there's that whole 1.5 kerfuffle that happened with Infinity Nikki. And then that brought more negative attention in. So I took a break from that. And just ever since I took that break, I haven't had the will to go back into anything. And then you're just watching all your metrics just kind of like slowly disappear, and everyone leaves and goes away, and you slowly become more irrelevant. And you don't want to tell people to come watch your stream because I feel like as a creator, you need to attract people in on your own and kind of work for it yourself. So I had probably the biggest crash out I've ever had like a couple weeks ago. I shared like a post on my private account, and some friends, including Ying, was there, who reached out to me about it and talked about it. Tried to help me out of that little depressive episode for a bit. Forgive me if I get a little choked up here because it's hard. It's very hard to go through. So it's kind of why we're here right now. So I'm trying to figure out like, what do I want to do? Because I don't want to do that again. It's too much work and it's not working. And so that's kind of where we're at.
Thank you for getting so real so fast, Rin.
Yeah, sorry.
It's not easy to do.
Yeah, it's hard. It's harder to talk about now because I really think, especially with transitioning, I'm very susceptible to emotions really quickly now, which is very weird to me still to this day because it's been 3 years now. But to easily get like choked up over like the littlest thing now. It takes a lot for me to hold it back, which is
I hear it's
right
like a pretty common trans phenomenon. I don't know if it's only M to F or the other way around also, but all of my friends going through the same transition right now have the same experience. It's like a second puberty.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
Mutual friend of ours, I've talked to her a few times because she has been going through that experience too, and having similar crash outs and things. So
not easy. You're doing this on nightmare difficulty in all of the ways.
Yeah, on top of like having a full-time too that I definitely need to keep, right? Because my intention was to eventually quit that job to take this on full-time. So I think a lot of the time, like, did I make a mistake? Should I have gone for it earlier? Should I have like locked in and just went for it? Because maybe if I did light a fire under my own ass and just went for it, maybe things would have worked out. But I wanted to play it safe, and I feel like I don't have anything to show for it, which isn't true. I definitely have done something to leave a mark and left an impression on people, obviously, but analytics and just how the system works now is so ingrained into how I think about how everything should work. Metrics and numbers should always go up. I can't enjoy anything anymore if no one else is enjoying it, stuff like that. So it's a weird spot to be in.
Yeah, I see a lot of our fellow content creator friends in chat also saying it's very relatable. So I think this is like a very common, I guess, a trend that's happening in our space right now in the content and attention economy space, where like I'm hearing it from like a lot of the podcasts that I follow also, that there's just a general drying up of like resources in the entire entertainment space, and that's like starting to hit small time creators especially hard. Like I think the superstars are still doing okay, but everyone in the middle and below is like, it's really hollowing out right now.
Right, because they found they have a way to sustain it, and they definitely have the finances to get help. For someone like me, just to do everything on my own for as long as I could. Like I tried to hire people to help, but that's expensive, and I don't believe in undercutting people for their work either, right? Like
we want to pay people fairly. Ideally, we'd love to pay our mods even. I had to stop paying my mods because I literally wasn't making. I had been losing money paying mods for a year, and I was like, I literally can't do that anymore.
Exactly.
I feel really guilty about it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just trying to keep with my morals isn't working, especially when you're told by people at the same time that, hey, you should just do whatever you like, it'll work out. Yes and no. And then when you try to do that and it doesn't work out, it makes you want to hate those things, or it makes me hate doing those things now. So everything just kind of unfun now, and just nothing I do is fun. So most things at least. So
my chat knows that I like have gone through a very similar arc, but I think that the parameters of my decision, like where I landed, are really different from yours in the sense that like it was easy for me to be able to say, like, I mean, it wasn't easy, but it was easier for me to say, it's okay if my content creation doesn't make money as long as it gives me joy, right? Like I'm allowed to do this as a hobby and just for fun, because that's what I did for many, many years. And like, I've always only ever lost money on this hobby. Making money from it was weird, actually. Like that was a blip. And so why is it such a big deal for me to go back to where it was before? But I have the privilege of saying something like that because like I worked a well-paying job for as many years as I did, and then like quit it. And it like says a lot that I have healthy enough savings that I can just like casually take a year off, and it's like not a big deal. And you're honestly, literally the opposite of that. Like you were depending on the extra income coming from your content creation, and it was a large enough surge during COVID that you began to depend on it, right? And now that that's dried up back to where it used to be, like the entire calculus shifts for you. So
I'm so envious of the position you're in right now, honestly.
It came with a lot of privilege. We'll just put it that way.
That's for sure.
It's like, sure, I can say I worked for it, but I think it's also true that like I was truly just handed a lot of things on a silver platter in my life, and like I think we should recognize that. Like these kinds of decisions, like every single content creator that you're seeing going through this decision right now is starting on like a very different decision basis, I guess. All of our calculations are really different. So